non-stick or stainless steel, or carbon steel, aluminum, copper, ceramic, cast iron, enameled cast iron.
And don't forget about hybrid.
Yeah, I was getting to that. And hybrid.
So, which one's the best?
Well, in this video, I'm gonna break down—
Which one is the best?
Oh, well, what do you mean? The best for what?
Like, is there one pan that can do everything? Like, the best overall?
Oh, stainless steel.
Nah, I don't believe you.
Well, I haven't given you any reason to believe me yet. That's kind of what this whole video is about. I'm gonna explain to you my experiences cooking on all these different types of cookware, dive into how the construction of stainless steel pans gives them the best overall performance, and bust a few myths about which surfaces are actually non-stick, to prove to you and to everyone watching that stainless steel is actually the best surface to cook on, except for one specific time when I do think non-stick is better.
I know this, scrambled eggs.
Actually, no.
Yeah, they get like super stuck on stainless steel and then it's impossible to clean them off.
Okay, how about this? After we're done with everything else, I'll take you through how to cook eggs and anything on stainless steel without it sticking, and show you how to clean up the dirtiest stainless steel pan that you've ever seen.
Sounds a little bit like you're being sponsored by Big Stainless.
Well, I would never make a video like this to pander to any brand.
Any chance that's the last pun in this video?
No. I've wanted to make this video for a really long time to help people change over from non-stick cookware to longer lasting and better performing stainless steel cookware. But it took me over a year to buy and test all of the different surfaces that I needed to make this video complete. And in that time, I linked up with Heston. And when I told them about this video idea, they agreed to provide all the extra cookware that I needed to fill in any gaps.
Well, that was nice.
It was. And all of the facts, information, and research in this video apply to cookware and surfaces from any brand. But because I am using Heston for a lot of these examples, sometimes there are features that only apply to Heston, like flush rivets for easy cleaning. So when this happens, you'll see a little logo down in the bottom corner to tell you that this particular feature is Heston specific. But if I say something like copper conducts heat better than aluminum, with no logo, then that means that statement just applies to all cookware evenly.
Oh, let me try. I like stainless steel because it's non-toxic and handcrafted in Italy.
Stainless steel works great with metal utensils, but also with universal lids.
The best stainless steel brands sell fully clad pans, but also really great wine.
All right, enough fun with the logos. I think we get it.
Okay, fine. So what's so great about stainless steel pans?
Well, I'm Clad, you asked.
Come on, I'm listening here, but you have got to chill with those pan puns.
Okay, no promises. I'll fry my best. Let's start with how cookware is made and sold. Any pot or pan can be broken down into three basic parts: the top or cooking surface that interacts with the food, the bottom or base that interacts with the stove, and the inner core that separates the two. Most pans are categorized and sold based on their cooking surface, like non-stick or stainless, ceramic, cast iron, aluminum, carbon steel, or hybrid. But just like with people, what's on the outside is important for a first impression, but for a deep, true, long-lasting, lifelong connection, it's really what's on the inside that matters.
No cap.
Yeah, no cap. Pans made of one material, like aluminum, cast iron, or carbon steel, are going to be the most straightforward because the inner core is made of the same material as the top and the bottom. Making pans out of just one material can be great for affordability, but because each material has its own strengths and weaknesses, while they can be great for specific tasks like high heat cooking, their weaknesses are also going to be on full display without any buffers. For example, these materials all react to acidic foods and can either rust or corrode if they aren't properly taken care of. Plus, pure aluminum pans can warp or burn food easily because of their high thermal diffusivity.
Nerd. Sorry.
In simple terms, metals with low conductivity, like carbon steel or cast iron, will change temperature slowly, which means they hold heat well for a consistent sear, but they're slow to heat up and need to be super thick and heavy in order to cook evenly. On the higher end of the conductivity spectrum, you're looking at materials that will heat up and cool down quickly. So that's going to be aluminum, and for the highest conductivity, copper. This is why you may have heard that copper is the ideal material for saucepans. Because when you're making a sauce, you want precise and quick heat control to hit your target temperature without splitting the sauce, scrambling a carbonara, or burning a caramel.
Or a caramel.
I've heard it both ways.
So I'm guessing stainless is like the best at both of those.
Actually, no. On its own, stainless steel is less conductive than carbon steel.
So stainless isn't really the best when it's just on its own.
Well, no, and that's why the best stainless steel pans are going to be fully clad or layered with aluminum or copper cores. By layering materials that are more durable and slower heating on the outside, and putting a more conductive and evenly heating material on the inside, layered or clad pans truly can and do have the best of both worlds. And by adjusting the thickness and purity of an aluminum core, you can increase the conductivity of a clad pan up to 35%, resulting in a level of performance that's typical of a solid copper pan.
But with extra durability and easy cleaning.
Exactly. Having stainless steel on the top and bottom of copper cookware makes these much more durable and safer to use. Plus, having stainless steel on the bottom makes these compatible with induction stovetops that you otherwise can't use with pure copper cookware.
All right, so I'm into this whole clad thing, but my ideal pan would have the durability of stainless on the bottom, the performance of copper in the middle, and then a non-stick coating on top. Is there a pan like that?
Well, let's start off by defining the term non-stick, because it seems to get thrown around on the internet by every single company trying to sell you a pan with the image of an egg just gliding whimsically in slow motion circles. For me and for the rest of this video, the term non-stick only applies to cookware where the surface on its own, without any oil or butter, will release food from the cooking surface, because the material itself is non-stick.
Okay, so is this non-stick?
Nope,
What about this?
not a chance.
And this one?
Nope.
But what if it's really well seasoned?
That is not what seasoning means, but also it doesn't matter how well seasoned your cast iron is, how naturally releasing the ceramic is, or how revolutionary the hybrid technology is. The truth is, you have to use oil with all of those surfaces to prevent sticking, which means the pan is not non-stick, the oil is. The only cooking surface that is truly non-stick with zero oil is PTFE.
Yeah, no, I'm not so sure about that because I've heard that acronyms are toxic.
I know. Whenever an acronym like PTFE or MSG or PFA appear in a cooking video, there's going to be lots of health claims, myth busting, facts, and alternative facts about it. There are tons of videos on the internet that you can watch to decide if these acronyms are non-toxic enough for you. This is not that kind of video, and that's not this kind of channel. I want to stick to things that I know 100% to be true, and that is PTFE does not stick to your food, but it also does not stick to the pan that it's coating. That whole non-stick thing, it goes both ways. So give your old roommates a call and apologize for all the times you blamed them for ruining your non-stick pans with metal utensils. It wasn't their fault.
Or maybe it was, because while I was doing my final fact checking for this video, I found something interesting about this particular pan. This is the Titan non-stick, and even though it has a fully non-stick coating by my standards, it also has a lifetime warranty, which is strange for a pan that has PTFE in its coating. So I reached out to Heston directly to see how they apply a lifetime warranty to a coating that's designed to unstick itself. And here's what they said. Our non-stick sticks to the pan because it's anchored on by plasma. Since we have layered non-stick, we don't have this issue with our non-stick coming off. This is our innovation to non-stick, in addition to including diamonds and titanium. Now, I do not know enough about plasma, titanium, or diamonds to prove or disprove any of that. So I just went ahead and directly asked Heston what I really wanted to know, which is, does the lifetime warranty still apply if the coating comes off through normal wear and tear? Here's what Heston said. We stand behind the warranty, and we are happy to replace the pan at any time if there are issues. So there you have it, fact checked. Unless your roommate scratched your titanium plasma diamond non-stick pan, it wasn't their fault. Because anything that's designed to be non-stick is naturally going to unstick itself over time. And after a few years, you're gonna have to buy a new non-stick pan, which is bad for the earth and even worse for your wallet. So then why do you have a non-stick pan?
Well, like I mentioned before, there is one time when I do think non-stick is better.
Oh yeah, for scrambled eggs.
No, it's not scrambled eggs, because with scrambled eggs, you'll use a little bit of oil. And if you add a little bit of oil and preheat it properly, truly any surface will not stick. I'll show you later when I do the floaty egg thing with these titanium pans. So because any surface with a little bit of oil becomes non-stick, the term is basically a meaningless marketing term that doesn't apply to anything except PTFE, which on their own are non-stick pans. So that's why I have one truly non-stick pan made with PTFE. And by using this very rarely, this one pan hopefully will last me a lifetime, just like stainless steel.
A lifetime? Really? Because I feel like I've seen stainless steel pans that get warped over time or have split rims from going in the dishwasher. I mean, how do you know when you're buying a pan if it's gonna last you 2 to 3 years or a lifetime? Because by the time you buy it and cook long enough to find out, at that point you're kind of stuck with it. And if it turns out they failed because of normal wear and tear instead of a manufacturing defect, then oftentimes those lifetime warranties don't even apply. And then you're just left arguing with the company about what the term dishwasher safe technically means.
Well, that's actually a good question.
Thanks.
Unlike a nonstick pan, the surface of stainless steel is probably not going to be the first thing to go. It's some of the smaller differences between brands that leave you with loose handles, warped edges, or rims that corrode and split from being put in the dishwasher. So I'm going to break down the small details that I think are most important when buying stainless steel cookware. First, the handle. If the handle is screwed on, it can screw off. But rivets will stay in place and hold everything securely. Rivets can be tough to clean though, so that's why I prefer pans with flush rivets and handles that are designed with seams that don't collect food. You'll also want to look for handles that are designed with a gap to disperse heat, and/or handles designed with a groove so that when the handle gets hot, because they all do, even the ones with holes, you can easily grab the handle with a towel or an oven mitt without worrying about a smooth round handle rotating in your hand. The second most important detail, and the place where your pan will probably fail you first, is going to be the rim. If your rims are just curled around, they'll be impossible to clean, and the food and oil inside will slowly corrode the pan. That's why it's called stainless steel and not stain never steel. If the rims are flush but unsealed, where you can see the separate layers on the outside of the pan, it will last a lot longer than the rolled rims, and it will be much easier to clean, but technically it's still not dishwasher safe. I would recommend looking into the fine print of any pan that says it's dishwasher safe, because if they still recommend washing by hand to protect the longevity or something like that, it's probably because of these exposed rims. Because the stainless steel edges will wear down at a slower rate than the inner core, resulting in really sharp edges and lawsuits with multi-million-dollar class action settlements. True story. The only Clad pans that are truly dishwasher safe with no fine print have a fully sealed rim that protects the inner core from the harsh chemicals and temperatures of a dishwasher.
So is it best to get a whole set of these or what?
No, like, you don't even cook.
Well, I could start.
If you're only learning to cook, you only really need one pot, one pan, and a universal lid that works with them both. The same amount of money will go a lot further, and those quality items will still be with you as you advance on your cooking journey. At the point that you're cooking larger meals multiple times a week, I would recommend investing in a stainless steel set with one nonstick pan. If you make sure to get something with solid handles and rims, it will last you a lifetime.
So what is the absolute best? I'm talking like Michelin star, French Laundry, Chef Thomas Keller, like the best of the best. What's that?
Well, if you absolutely love cooking and you want the best possible performance, then titanium is 4 times tougher than stainless steel. It can heat up to 1050 degrees and recover from the harshest cleanup imaginable.
Oh yeah, cleaning up. You still have to show us how to cook eggs in stainless steel and how to clean it up.
You're right. To make any stainless steel not stick, the key is controlling your temperature. You want the oil in the pan at around 450 degrees when you place the food into the pan. The easiest way to do this is with a thermometer, and just add the food at the right temp. But if you don't have a thermometer, you can heat up the pan with no oil until it's hot enough that water beads up on the surface. This happens because the water floats on a layer of steam without making contact with the pan. Oil can reach higher temperatures than water, so when you add the oil to a pan that's this hot, it forms another layer on the pan at that same high temperature so that your egg, which is mostly water, heats up in the same way as the bead of water, with a small layer of steam underneath it, separating the egg from the oil and the pan. Any small areas of cold proteins that do bond with the steel will eventually steam free and release themselves naturally after coming to temp. And the egg will float around just like it does in the commercials. When following this process with other proteins, the proteins will release as they're golden brown, and you're left with a delicious fond that is super easy to remove with liquid to create the base for some of the best pan sauces or braises you've ever had.
Dude, that's great in theory, but I can burn water. So what do I do if, say, I'm trying to cook a stir fry and I burn the sauce into the pan?
Just add a little water while the pan is hot, and a little wipe will clean everything off.
Okay, but hypothetically, what if I was making grits and I forgot to stir them, so they got stuck to the bottom of the pot? Then, because I didn't want to bother with it, I left it to dry overnight, and then after I soaked it in the sink for a while and scrubbed it, the burnt grits still wouldn't come off. Hypothetically.
Easy. If you've got sealed rims, dishwasher.
Okay, but what if the dishwasher doesn't work, or you just don't have a dishwasher? Is the pan just ruined forever?
Not a problem. Because there isn't a coating on the surface or anything else to worry about, you can just use a powdered abrasive cleaner to scrub anything off stainless steel or titanium without worrying about damaging it.
And what about that rainbow effect?
Stainless steel cleaner, or vinegar, or a lemon.
All right, but it was scrambled eggs though.
What?
The one thing that's better to cook in a nonstick pan. Just admit it, it's scrambled eggs. No, like I said before, with a little bit of oil preheated to the correct temperature, you can cook anything in a stainless steel pan and it won't stick, even scrambled eggs. So then what's better in a nonstick pan? This only applies if you don't have a microwave like me, like us, fair, like us, but because leftovers start out cold and need to be heated up without any oil, I think a nonstick pan is the best way to heat up leftovers.
But for everything else where you can preheat the pan or use a little bit of oil, save your money, save the earth, and use stainless steel.